Just when we were sure interest rates were finally going to rise, yet another force is pushing them down. I'm Jack Otter, editor of Barron's.com, here with Mike Nero, who runs our income investing blog. So, Michael, of course, for years and years, the bond bubble was on the verge of bursting. Rates were going to rise and so forth. Now, finally, we knew, okay, rates really are going to rise. The Fed is going to hike them at some point next year. Everyone is sure. And now there's yet a new dynamic that's actually keeping a lid on them. Mm-hmm. What is it?
The latest incoming interference dynamic is a strengthening U.S. dollar. You've seen it over the last 6 months, where the dollar has appreciated between 6 and 8% against the euro and the yen alike, and that is furthering this investor drive into U.S. bonds.
Mainly by foreign investors,
right?
We're talking about.
By global money flowing into U.S. bonds and out of European counterparts. And it's just another part of this growing dynamic tension whereby everything that people thought was going to happen this year to U.S. bonds because of what the Fed was going to do has been counterbalanced by what's going on in Europe. And in Europe, the central bank there is moving in pretty much the opposite direction of the Fed. The Fed is on the verge of raising rates. It's cutting out its bond buying program. Whereas in Europe, they're about to embark on something, bond buying program or something similar. Rates keep going lower over there, and bond yields, the German 10-year bond yields under 1%. It's about 0.96. U.S. 10-year bond, 2.5. It seems like kind of a no-brainer, which you would want to get into, and that's helping strengthen the dollar and keep U.S. rates lower.
It's fascinating on so many levels. I mean, for the one hand, everybody complains about low interest rates here. Well, in fact, they look huge compared to Europe.
Exactly.
And we complain about the slow recovery here. But, of course, the recovery in Europe has been much worse, and that's why they're going on this monetary policy that we've been using for years. So where does this leave the investor? We were, of course, scared. We always said, go to the short end, wait for rates to rise. Now what do you do?
Well, it's one more thing that you really need to keep an eye on. Investors can't just look at the Federal Reserve and say, okay, whatever the Fed comes out and says next time, it's a surefire indicator of where bond yields are going, because people thought that coming into 2014, that yields, they had started to rise, they were going to keep rising, and depending on how far you thought they would go, it could be a terrible thing for your existing bond portfolio. It will help down the road when you get higher yielding bonds. But it's all year long, it's again been this dynamic tension situation where a lot of other factors have been a counterweight to what the Federal Reserve has been doing. So keep an eye on what's going on in Europe and understand that there's a sort of a limited amount of movement that's possible in the short end of the yields curve, given
the buying pressure.
Right. And as well as the longer end of the yield curve, because you have to get some sort of higher inflation expectations in order for longer dated bonds yields to go up. So you're looking at a situation where you should not expect a bond Armageddon that you might have expected earlier this year, but you do need to keep an eye on a lot of incoming data.
But it sounds to me like, once again, it's dangerous to try to time the market, and you have to remain, I hate to say it, diversified across different maturities in the hope that at least part of it will work out.
It sounds like some boring investment advice, but that's often the best.
Usually works. Thanks, Mike.